acupuncture safe?
That's also a good question. It seems like acupuncture would be dangerous because we do have needles involved. But one of the things that really sets us apart from other medical professionals is that the needles that we use are so thin. They're not hollow, they have no drug inside of them. They're just thin little needles, like very flexible, almost like a hair. And so they're not destructive to the tissue. They don't cut the tissue. They actually kind of move through the tissue by pushing things out of their way. And so they don't damage the body so much. Another important thing about acupuncture safety is that it's much safer when it's done by people who are actually professionally trained, and especially if they're trained at the level of a licensed acupuncturist. Those of us who are trained this way have extensive training in how to use needles so that we avoid injuring the patient. Another issue that is important in the safety category is whether or not people can get infections from acupuncture needles. This is very, very important. In the state where I practice, acupuncture needles cannot be used more than once. So that means each time I use a needle, it's thrown away in the biohazard box, and that needle will not have access to anybody else after that. So this makes sure that we're not going to be transmitting any kind of disease from one patient to the next. Acupuncturists are also trained just exactly like all other healthcare professionals in what we call prevention of blood-borne pathogen transmission. And so that means that we do hand washing, we wear gloves when appropriate, we work in a clean environment. We don't work in a sterile environment like an operating room, but we use a clean environment, and we understand that people's immune systems are basically healthy. And if a person is on chemotherapy, or if they have an illness that causes them to have a suppressed immune system, we might take special precautions when doing acupuncture. So there's really no risk of transmission of infections in the United States when acupuncture is done by properly trained professionals.